1990s have begun on The Price is Right, and we are starting out with a whimper. Gallery Game was incredibly short-lived, not very popular, and most importantly, not very practical. Don't get too attached to this one. Here we go with 5 fun facts about Gallery Game. Number 5. It was played 24 times. This game is one of the rarest on the show, having only been played 24 times in its existence. It is considered one of the most failed games on the show, and if you haven't seen my list of the most failed pricing games, do check that out. It's a special list for sure. Number 4. It was the first game to premiere and be retired in the 1990s. It's no secret that Gallery Game had a short life. Being that it was the first game to be retired in the 1990s, it just goes to show how little faith the staff had in this game, and ultimately how its lack of popularity didn't play in too much with the decision to remove it from the roster. Number 3. It is similar to Pick a Number. The incredibly simple gameplay to Gallery Game is similar to the game Pick a Number, which won't debut until 1992, thus making that game a spiritual successor of sorts. Number 2. It is one of 3 games where the contestant writes in a price. This was the 3rd game to premiere in which the contestant must write in numbers. 10 Chances and Check Game are the other 2. I highly recommend checking out my reviews of these games, especially 10 Chances where I am not very nice towards it. And the number 1 fun fact about Gallery Game, it was retired likely due to the game's expense. In addition to its low win percentage, it is believed that Gallery Game was retired due to it being too expensive to commission new paintings every time it was played. Realizing that the practicality factor of this game is fairly low, Gallery Game was retired quite quickly and became nothing more than a distant memory. Swap Meet is a very basic game with a very simple premise. A base prize is displayed to the contestant, followed by 3 other prizes. Find the prizes that share the same price and you win them all. There is very little to talk about with this game, but I'm going to do my best with this one. Here we go with 5 fun facts about Swap Meet. Number 5. 2 prizes must have the same price. The game can't be done unless this is the case. Like I said, there really isn't much to talk about with this game, so hang with me until next time. Number 4. It's never offered 4 cars. Unlike Race Game, which offered 4 cars in 2011, this game has never done so. Number 3. Season 41 saw its fewest playings. Swap Meet was played 5 times that season. It was played the most during Season 20 with 24 playings. Number 2. George Gray is model number 3. The show's announcer George Gray will step in as the 3rd model, as typically 2 are used for each show. In addition to being helpful, it just adds a new element for the energetic announcer. And the number 1 fun fact about Swap Meet, the French version is different. After seeing the base prize, the contestant was shown 4 more prizes. To win, they had to pick the 2 prizes from the latter group whose prices totaled the price of the base. Well folks, that was a tough one to get through, but next time we'll be picking numbers on our way to another review. Well, we're currently in a period where many of the new games on the show just don't have the same punch that many games of the 70s and 80s had. Pick a Number is a very basic game with an easy premise. A number is missing. Pick the one that is missing and you win the prize. Doesn't get much simpler, but maybe there's some stuff to talk about with it. Here we go with 5 fun facts about Pick a Number. Number 5. It was reworked from the Gallery Game. Gallery Game was a very short-lived game on the show with a very similar premise. A number is missing and the contestant must pick the missing number. Pick a Number is essentially the same thing, except there's a much more solid choice of 3 possible answers given to you, hence you have a 33% chance of winning. Number 4. It appeared on The Late Late Show. In 2018, Pick a Number appeared on The Late Late Show with James Corden. The contestant was actress and comedian Melissa McCarthy. Number 3. There was a change in the game's reveal. Originally, the host would pull the number up to reveal the winning number. Now it is operated by a button. The increase in technology still does not matter when it comes to electronics though, since the game has none, which leads me to... Number 2. The game is a last-minute replacement. In the event a game breaks down like Penny Ante did in 2002, Pick a Number can easily be used as a quick last-minute replacement, a distinction held by Money Game in the earlier days. And the number 1 fun fact about Pick a Number, There was a 17-year gap between cars. In 1992, a 4-digit car was offered on Pick a Number. It wouldn't be until 2009 that another car would be offered, leaving a gap of 17 years. To put it into perspective, most of the greatest TV shows of all time don't even last 17 years. That's quite a gap. Now come back next time though for a new game. You don't want to switch the channel just yet. We are in the midst of a major drought of creativity when it comes to new games on The Price is Right. Switch is another 50-50 you're right or you're wrong game. I'm sure there's got to be something worth chatting about, so let's take a look at 5 fun facts about Switch. Number 5. It was created because the producers needed a quick game. Switch was created by Chris Clemenson, a staffer on Password Plus, because the staff needed something that could be played quickly. This makes sense considering by this point the runtime of the show was being drastically reduced and faster games were needed to get through an episode. Number 4. The Switch music. The music used when the contestants decide to switch is the very end of the track used for Switcheroo, which is a far superior game in my opinion. Number 3. Drew's theatrics. When Drew took over the show during playings of this rather uninteresting game, he would tell the models to avoid bumping into each other while switching, or don't move a muscle when they don't. How do you feel about Drew's way of handling this game? Does it add to the game, or do you prefer Bob's method? Let me know. Number 2. Switch was played 12 times in primetime. I feel like using 50-50 games in primetime is a bad idea, but alas, 12 times Switch has made it to the evening hours. I guess even nighttime shows need short contests. And the number 1 fun fact about Switch? It's the first game that can be won by doing nothing. Switch was the first game introduced where absolutely nothing occurs and the contestant can win. Later, Double Cross would share this distinction. And folks, I wish I could say this is going to get easier, but it's still in the long haul of average games of the 1990s. I can't even buy a break or sell a good idea at this point. Buy or Sell is probably the best game to come out of the 1990s so far. It is a simple game, but always fun to see wins happen as the contestant will win 3 decent prizes and a sizable cash bonus. But yet, it still suffered the same fate that so many other games have, so here we go with 5 fun facts about Buy or Sell. Number 5. The game never offered 3 cars. This could very well be because the game isn't too terribly difficult and 3 cars should be saved for much tougher games like Triple Play. And with the game being retired, it is highly unlikely this will ever happen. Number 4. Michael. Michael was a rather enjoyable contestant who came from North Carolina just for the show and then flew back the next day. His reactions were classic and well worth watching the entire clip of his playing. There's no way I can explain him here. Number 3. The tote board used to be higher. In the earlier days of the game, the tote board used to be behind the prizes, but then it was moved next to the host. It seemed a little odd towering over everyone, but eventually it was reduced to a much more palatable size. Number 2. The cash bonus. The cash bonus was eventually added in 1997. Oddly enough, the highest cash bonus possible was $1,900 because the tote board couldn't display anything higher than a 1 in the first slot. And the number 1 fun fact about Buy or Sell, it was retired for being confusing. Honestly, I'm not sure what is too confusing about this game, but due to its confusing rules and staff disliking it, Buy or Sell was retired in 2008, very shortly into the Drew era. And folks, come back next time when it's going to take a little bit of magic to come up with 5 fun facts about my next game. Magic Number is a game that appears to have way too much thought put into its playing, but it's still fun with loud audience interaction and a suspenseful finish. Find a price that fits between the 2 prizes and win them both. Here we go with 5 fun facts about Magic Number. Number 5. Drew's demonstration. When Bob demonstrated the lever, he would pull it back down to 0. Drew usually doesn't, leaving it at a number which could potentially be a magic number. Thus, unofficially, this could be a game like Switch, where the contestant doesn't need to do anything to win. Again, unofficially. Number 4. Exact number scenario. Once did a contestant pick an exact number of a prize to be a magic number. In this event, the magic number will fall in favor of the contestant. Number 3. The game was very recently retired. Very few games have been retired during the Drew era. However, as of 2021, Magic Number has been retired. This might be the result of a computer failure that the crew seemed either unwilling to fix or not financially worth fixing. Number 2. It is the second longest game to be retired. In the rotation for 29 years, Magic Number has taken over Hit Me as the second longest game to be retired. Poker Game still has the distinction of being the longest tenured game on the show to be retired, which ended along with the Bob era. And the number one fun fact about Magic Number, it is headed for a museum. The Magic Number prop, along with a few other classic props, will be included as part of the Strong National Museum of Play, a museum in New York State dedicated to the history and preservation of play. Now that's my kind of museum. And folks, join me next time for another game review. I don't need to cover up any details on what it's going to be. Cover Up is an excellent game for a car that premiered in 1993. Cover up the wrong number or later whatever photo is on the card with the correct number and win. Always fun, always a challenge. This is the best game of the 1990s so far. Here we go with 5 fun facts about Cover Up. Number 5. It used Check Game's music. The think music from Cover Up is the same music used for Check Game, although Cover Up seems to be a far more understood game in how it's played. I never got why though. Number 4. It featured the first handicapped contestant. It only took 27 years, but in 1999, The Price is Right had its first handicapped contestant, Paul Rossman. To handle this, Janice would cover up the numbers for him. There have been several contestants in wheelchairs since. If you want to see a rather humorous story about one, check out my video 10 more ridiculous Price is Right moments available on this channel. Number 3. It hasn't been played perfectly since the Bob era. As of recording this, Cover Up has been played perfectly 9 times, all of which occurred during the Bob era. The last time it happened was in 2007, and it would be Bob's final playing of Cover Up. Number 2. The changes to Cover Up. Starting in 2013, the wrong numbers started to be covered up by random photos on the original cards. Honestly, I think this makes the game a lot more streamlined and is a good change. Plus, it can be kind of funny to see what they choose to be on the cards. What do you think about this change? And the number 1 fun fact about Cover Up, most people did not see its premiere. I covered this, no pun intended, on my video 10 Wild Reasons Price is Right episodes never aired. Due to the Oslo Accords forcing a special report that aired for a large portion of the day, the Cover Up debut was preempted in most markets, with only a few in the East Coast who aired the show at 10 a.m. able to watch it. The show was considered semi-lost until it was posted on YouTube in 2018. And as for my next review, it's going to be a good one. No joke.